get started with a strategy that will be very useful for you. It is very simple, and this strategy works on irresponsible pairs, which is exactly what I am currently focusing on. Here we have Euro GP open. I will now show you this strategy on it. It is very simple, really very simple. Yes, from the cover alone, you probably understood that any schoolchild can handle this because there is nothing complicated here. At the moment, according to the date, it is Monday. We opened without an irresponsible pair, so let's immediately switch to the 15-minute interval. What do we need to do here? We entered the 15-minute interval, and what do we see here? Of course, many might be scared by this, like what is this? Why are there only some lines, some sharp bullish candles with significant volume and no shadows? The week has just started, so the pair opened and formed from this moment, that is, from 12 o'clock. It formed here. And what do we need to do here? First of all, we analyze in the morning, looking at how the trend is going. That is, if it is Monday for you and you also entered an irresponsible pair in the morning, the same EUR GPA for example, what needs to be done? We do the following. We look at the candles, how they are moving on a longer interval. Yes, at the moment, I have the 15-minute interval open. We open it, I already have it open of course, and what do we need to understand here? First of all, let's take a look at the euro dollar, which I also have open, and let's look at the euro GPI right away. You have probably already noticed the difference, but I will also explain that on the euro dollar, we see what strong pullbacks we have on the 15-minute interval as well. So there is complete chaos happening here for now, and opening in one direction is somehow more difficult, so we skip the euro dollar, although I always stay on it and already enter on the euro GPI because we see that it will be calmer and more comfortable for us to trade here. And how do we trade here on the 15-minute interval? We notice that we don't have good huge volatility, the candles are jumping back and forth, everything is going smoothly, and we see a downward trend. So here we have a point where it stopped. It preserved this maximum, and already from this point it turned around. Let's switch to the minute interval. That's it. We understood that we have a downward trend. It is behaving downwards, that is, to put it differently. So what do we need to look for on the minute interval? What positions? Where to open? I will show you all of this now because we have a downward trend. We remember this, we do not forget. And here we see the following picture. In the last hours, that is since 9:45, our candle has stopped. The maximum has been maintained here. Also, let me quickly place a horizontal line like this. Why do we need all of this? So that we can now push off from the 15-minute interval in one direction and start opening trades. Our maximum was maintained here at 9:45. Next, what do we see here? The price is moving down, of course, on the 15-minute interval. I repeat myself, I apologize. We have seen all of this and see that the price is trying to compensate itself. These are the moments we have. Such moments are very important to us. They will be very useful, so we have noticed this. That's it. Let's move on and see how the price behaves further. The price has fallen again, is trying to compensate itself at this moment, and is falling again. How should we trade here if we have already noticed such a trend? Since we are on such a trend, we should open positions here. If the trend continues, it will compensate, fall, and compensate again. At this moment, it has turned around. So if it continues to behave in the same way, with such fluctuations, compensating the price, we trade from such positions when the price starts to compensate itself. We open from these higher positions for 5 to 10 minutes for a decline, as a reversal has already occurred. So for example, you opened here, the price has already started to compensate. You think, aha, it is compensating itself, I will try to open a position for a decline here, but it has already turned around here and is going up. We are not adding to our position in any case, that is, we opened right here, that's it. Well, let's have 3 trades. Alright, we opened them for 5, 7, 10 minutes for a decline. We will most likely lose them because a reversal has occurred here. We can see that the price tried to turn around here, but it didn't succeed. And it is already behaving towards the previous maximum that we have preserved here. So let me also draw some lines. We have a dip from which the price is already behaving in a completely different direction. Here, you can see how the price approaches this line. Therefore, if you have a similar reversal, and in general, if a reversal is happening, you see that large bullish candles are forming during such a trend. On a 15-minute interval, I will show you once again. That is, here is how you should open your positions. You should open from these maximums that it reaches. That is, it has reached this high, and now we are opening here for the short term, because we have a 1-minute interval. At such a moment when it has reached this position, we open from 1 minute to about 3 minutes. Let me add to that as well. From 1 minute to 3 minutes, I am adding for an increase because we are breaking through the previous high. Well, I generally advise taking 2 trades, but you can also take 3 trades, meaning 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes for an increase during such a trend. Don't get confused. You shouldn't open on every trend when this happens, because we just did an analysis and saw how the price compensates itself. And here it started to compensate itself and is already beginning to break through the previous highs. That is, the price is already returning to the previous points where it reversed. Because of this, it is convenient for us to open here, and it will be very good for our trades to break out for an increase. We just opened, and what other moments are there during such a trend is that when it reverses. When such a reversal occurs, we should also be careful. That is, we just opened 3 trades here, but what should we do next? We have already received our first profit from the first trade. What should we do next? Next, we just wait. That is, for 3 trades, if we are currently making a profit, we wait for the moment when the price starts to reverse. Like this. That is, if 3 candles like here are forming at a higher position, then we again add to the increase. But we try to take longer ones, that is, not for 1 to 3 minutes. But we take, for example, from 3 to 5 minutes, trying to make several trades here. Or we open 1 trade only, for example, for 3 minutes during such pullbacks, and that's it. Nothing more. That is, we are not in a hurry. We open carefully and thus try to make profits. But there is a very good point, which I will also mention now, and I have mentioned it in many places, including in my videos, because I have already analyzed a similar strategy. Just on a non-responsive pair at the beginning of the week, this will be very useful, as you will also be able to review and analyze it every week. Like this, as I do. What is there at such trends, with such a strategy that greatly kills our trades and brings them to zero? These are exactly such reversals. Reversals happen very often for us. Well, there is a 50% chance that it goes up, or 50% that it reverses after the first candle or the second candle. It reverses downwards. That is, when it reaches the maximum, it breaks through and then reverses down. What to do in such situations? In such situations, we just need to calmly wait for our third trade right here and see how the price behaves here. If it starts to reverse again upwards, that is, they will create such small dips. A good example is here. 3 candles, it reversed downwards and then again started to reverse upwards. Therefore, one could have already bounced upwards from this candle. And the same goes here. That is, if we see some large bullish volume here, a large candle, then we already add to the upward position. Well, if we notice a sideways movement near it, we also add to the upward position. Therefore, we need to open carefully here as well. Here, I definitely advise opening on this candle as it approaches. By the way, if I had opened on this candle, I would have likely made profits on all 3 trades. But for now, we have 1 profit and 2 losses. But it's not a big deal. We will try to catch the moment. Here, you can open. But, in fact, I have already explained everything about this strategy. It can also be used on longer intervals, meaning you can open for longer terms. For those who trade only long term, it can also be used here. But of course, we are at the beginning of the week, and I can't clarify this strategy for the long term right now. The principle is the same. It's just that there are no suitable moments here, so to speak. The trading here is more focused on the short term, so for now it's only like this. But by the evening, I think the candles will perform quite well. It will be more evident how our trend decides to behave this week. How it will behave. Because for the euro dollar, I initially analyzed how it started to behave last week. Then I calmly adjusted to it and traded peacefully. Because with the euro dollar, I managed to make a profit with my team very well last week. For now, I think we can wrap it up because dragging out the video, waiting for the candles here, waiting for bullish candles, well, I don't think it's worth it. But I hope everyone who watches me has understood the strategy. So thank you for watching this video. Have a good evening, a good day, and stay